Hello, and thanks for popping on to Aha Moments. This Aha Moment was aired on July 31st, 2023. I had to think about that, called The Sacred Pause. And it was an aha that I had written actually 3 or 4 years ago that I just massaged a little bit. And it was kind of in response to a situation that came up that I thought was just really important to address. And so modified that and that's kind of the way I deal with situations sometimes is in my writing and in my posting, because do it energetically, right? We don't always have to be combative with people. Sometimes we can just decide to accept a situation and grow from it, and then learn and teach others as a result, right? So anyway, aha moments. You've had aha moments before, right? Like, those sometimes they're just little quick things that come into your mind that are illuminating, and other times they are huge flashes of brilliance that come and really set you off in another path. And sometimes they happen as a result of an impact. Maybe something negative happened, or something you weren't expecting that happened out of the blue, and you realize, maybe even not in that instant, but maybe a little bit later, that there was something really profound that you needed to learn, and it shifted your perspective. Other times it's just I think what from the responses that I get from Aha Moment Mondays that release every Monday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, one of which we're going to read today, that that sometimes it's just one line or one phrase that people will write back to me and say, you hit a little chord there, and it's nice to see something a little differently. But that's the whole point of Aha Moments, right? Are to shift your perspective, help you to just learn something a little differently, and if you're open to it. Some people just read the ahas and they go, that was really nice, and then they just carry on with whatever, and that's okay. Everybody's going to get something different out of it. And I'm amazed too. Sometimes I think I made a really deliberate point in there, and yet when people respond, that they come up with something else in there that maybe I didn't see before, maybe I didn't think was as important or was the focus, but for them it was. So that's the point. There's no wrong answer. There's no wrong way to have an aha moment, right? I think that we learn one aha moment at a time. So let me just call up the one from August 31st, entitled The Sacred Pause. I'm going to read it to you. Again, you want to subscribe, then you can get it in your inbox then. But hey, I'm happy to read and have this conversation, and I love that actually we can have this dialogue together. So anyway, it starts like this. It's so natural, thanks to our intellectual factors, for us to judge things. So natural, in fact, that we don't even realize we're doing it. That outfit does not suit her. My child would never lie. What you said was so hurtful. I have the best boss ever. The weather sucks. Bermuda's the most beautiful island. That idiot just cut me off. I'm the only one who can lead that project. People who are late have no respect. See the judgment? We label, create stories, and establish opinions by applying our filters: morals, conditioning, values, religion, safety, usefulness, meaningfulness, or through our experiences, and lightning fast take a position. We justify that position based on our truth, what we believe at the time. Sometimes that perspective serves us, and other times it can create a barrier to creative solutions and meaningful relationships. What is the risk of entertaining new perspectives? Aha, be open-minded. It's not like your brain's going to fall out. Step back from a situation and see it objectively. Perhaps ask clarifying questions about what is happening, then challenge yourself to potentially respond in a way that inspires growth, empowerment, and positivity. It may mean choosing to humble yourself after having received new information. For example, her outfit didn't suit her because her luggage was lost and she had to borrow something to wear. Or after your investigation, you may choose to maintain your perspective. Either way, it's a reflective pause that gives you the opportunity to do better. And when you know better, you do better. So always take the opportunity to challenge your beliefs, right? Right? I don't know everybody believes that. And I think that was part of the situation that happened when that prompted me to write this. We always judge as much as we don't want to think that we do. We think they're open-minded and we think that we take everything into consideration. But very quickly, our conditioning, our programming, everything that makes us who we are, and everything that we've been told, everything that we've learned, all creates a framework that we operate within. So we don't necessarily want to be judgmental. We don't consider ourselves judgmental if we want to embrace, humankind and situations. But the truth of the matter is we do judge. And so, I was listening to somebody the other day, and they were saying about, if I see someone who has, hair in their chest and a beard, that is, maybe wearing a dress and high heels, because of the hair in the chest and the beard and the stature, I'm gonna think it's a male, regardless of how they're dressed. So, and that's the programming, that's the conditioning, that is the belief system that individual has. If I see somebody that has muscles and facial hair and a beard, you're naturally going to think that it's a male, right? That's the conditioning that we have. So you're not trying to be judgmental. You're not trying to be critical. It's your framework that you're working within. So within the realm of our associations and our affiliations and our families and everything, anytime that we're listening, it's very difficult to listen with that open mind and just listen to the words that are coming, listen to the vibration, feel the vibration, and just be neutral with everything. That takes skill and effort. I'm not saying it's impossible or that people don't do it. I do it, and I'm sure that you do as well in different circumstances. But it does take parking your ego, your conditioning and everything, and just focusing on who it is that is talking, or focusing on a situation that just happened. So in a sense of, that idiot cut me off. Well, that idiot might have had a choking child in the back seat that he's trying to get to the emergency room, right? So sometimes that's the aha moment, that all of a sudden you go, oh my God, here I was judging that individual when I didn't have all the information. So when I mentioned about asking clarifying questions, sometimes when something appears to be so, like I was expecting somebody to come yesterday to put together some furniture. And he sent me a text message and said, I can come tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. So I was texting him during the day, like, okay, it's here. Like, when are you coming? And after a while, I just gave up. And the next morning I sent him a message and said, because he hadn't responded, or should I find someone else? Like, I wasn't trying to be judgmental. But, in my mind, I'm thinking, you said you can come and then you didn't answer anything. Well, he meant to say, I can't come. He was actually moving himself that day. And he said, I'm so sorry for the miscommunication, but it was purely a slip in words. He could not come, and he actually meant to say can, not can. And then the rest of the day he was busy, didn't check. So again, we tend to have these stories. I was there was somebody that asked me to play in a golf match, and this is going back a while, and these kind of circumstances and situations, you will recognize this happens all the time. And they asked me to participate in an event with them. And I saw the message come in, and I didn't want to answer right away because, first of all, I wasn't sure calendar-wise, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it. And I thought, I'm usually pretty good at responding to people, at least to let them know I've received it, and that I'll get them some information. This time I hesitated, and she came back, and we saw each other in person a couple of days later, and she was like, well, I know that you just didn't want to play with me. And it was like, really? I was surprised that was a reaction, but she had already created a story. She had already judged the circumstance, and she had already decided that I did not want to play with her. So she found another partner. That's totally fine. I'm cool with that. But that happens all the time. I'm sure you've done it, I've done it, and it's being done to us, where people create stories before they actually know what the situation is, right? So being judgmental is a very natural thing. Let's understand that that's just human, because of our programming, because of our experiences, because of what we're being taught. Very natural to judge. But there's times when we need to have that pause, look at a situation. First of all, accept the situation as is, not to blame or take responsibility or whatever, just accept it for what it is. And if you need to ask some clarifying questions so that you get a handle on the situation, you can understand. Here's where empathy really comes in. You can start to empathize, you can ask questions, you can get into somebody else's shoes, or get some more information about a situation, maybe from 2 or 3 different sources, which I think was probably what should have happened in this case, but it didn't, to the best of my knowledge, just so that you can see sort of that bigger picture. And then you understand the situation, you know how to respond intelligently, right? If you judge quickly, which we all do, we just said, we do that automatically, and we allow that to be our firm opinion, that's where we can get in trouble. Okay, that's the That's a clincher. So, that's the part where we want to just, as soon as we have that news, go, wait a second, like that doesn't sit right with me, or that I don't understand that, or that guy cut me off and must be a jerk, well, maybe he is. Maybe after all the information that you have, you find out the guy was just a jerk, and that could entirely be the case, right? But anyway, hopefully that he's a safer jerk, and the next time he gets in the road. But so let's understand we do judge. However, that sacred pause, that time when you just kind of calm yourself, step back, allow yourself to take a different perspective, opening up maybe a conversation about it, ask some clarifying questions, and maybe entertain some viewpoints that you had not taken into consideration before. Very, very empowering, and empathy with a capital E. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that. Share it, subscribe. Come on board. And 50 Simple Ways to Release the Shackles of Self-Sabotage will be coming out shortly. I'm not sure when you're actually listening to this, when you're going to get it, but as I record, it is coming out shortly, and I couldn't be more excited, as is most of everyone who is working on this project together. It's been a long time coming, and we're super excited to get the book out, to start Human You, the membership program, which will be $11.11 a month. And to start chatting amongst ourselves more and more about what we need to do going forward. So with all that in mind, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for being here, and as always, succeed deliberately.